is INCRadio DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Good morning and welcome to INCradio South Central States. We are back in studio in Fort Worth. It seems like it's been a while since I've been here.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for bailing me out because it's very difficult having to juggle all these things here with the sound and the cameras and the chat. But the chat's already getting lit right now.
I see that. You're good. So I'm your host, Arnie, and today our topic is Lesson in Disguise. Things we had to do as kids that we really did not like, but then now as adults, we actually appreciate. And so here in studio today, we actually have a full house. So we've got two guests, and let's go ahead and have them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Miko, and I'm from the city of Euless, Texas.
And I'm Justin, and I'm from Arlington, Texas.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. So let me ask you, were there things your parents made you guys do as a kid that you did not like?
Yeah, like a lot, but I think you can start off.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Well, whenever I first heard that question, I wanted to just talk about like healthy eating. You know, parents, they would make you eat your vegetables a lot. And, you know, growing up, I wasn't really into vegetables, you know, as most kids are. And so, yeah, just the whole part of like eating your vegetables and then trying to finish your plate.
What vegetables did you hate?
Yeah.
I
Like-
hated Brussels sprouts, and also I did not like broccoli. Broccoli was the
broccoli
worst.
were trees. That's what my grandma said. They were trees, and that's what kind of made us want to eat them.
Yeah, that's what my parents did too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, it's a little tree.
I love broccoli.
You feel like a little dinosaur eating trees.
Yeah,
But even now, I don't eat Brussels sprouts
yeah, me neither.
because
Like,
it just doesn't look appealing.
it's not good, and people try to grill it and try to put seasoning on it, and it's just it's not really appealing to me.
What about you? Do you like Brussels sprouts?
I've actually only had Brussels sprouts once, and I thought I liked it. But
Yeah,
it
I
was
didn't-
grilled. And
I didn't have Brussels sprouts till I was like in my 30s.
I haven't even tried it.
I don't think my parents like Brussels sprouts either.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was like, I like it. It's like little cabbages.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's kind of like tasteless, but
I haven't tried it only because it doesn't look pretty. So,
Yeah,
It's not bad. I mean, when it's properly grilled and they season and everything, I think it tastes pretty good. What about chat? Chat, if you like Brussels sprouts or not, are you team Brussels sprouts? Let us know.
oh no, not
What
me.
about you, Justin? What was vegetables all about for you as a
oh,
kid?
man. Well, I loved spinach when I was a kid, but I hated just like any other vegetable except for like spinach and broccoli were like my go-to vegetables. But like if it was like squash, carrots, man, I did not like those.
Really?
Was that
See?
because of Popeye though with the spinach?
Yeah, yeah. My dad loved watching Popeye, and like every time I would eat spinach, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm like becoming
getting
Popeye. I'm getting huge.
And I never understood like why did they tell kids like, hey, if you eat a vegetable with no protein in it, you're gonna get muscles. From
Yeah.
it.
Well, just like
Weird.
carrots, they said if you eat carrots, it's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
for your eyes. You're never going to
Yeah.
get glasses.
Yeah, look at me now.
Yeah, look at-
That's why.
Right.
Look at the three of us right now.
So let me ask you this, Miko, when the whole vegetable thing, what did you do to avoid eating vegetables when you were a kid?
Well, okay, there were a lot of methods to this. There's the whole napkin trick. You know, mom, can I please have a napkin? Like there's something in my mouth, and you know, you would just slightly grab the vegetable away while she's not looking. While she's talking to dad. And there's also whenever we're done at the dinner table, you would go to the trash can, and we always usually ate with paper plates. So we didn't really like washing dishes in our house. So we used paper plates, and we would go to the trash can, and whenever our mom or dad's not looking, we would turn the plate over just so they would see that, you know,
the leftover taco.
We don't want them to see the mess that we still left. You know?
And so now, how do you feel about vegetables?
You know, I grew to appreciate it because now that I've been going to the gym, I've been more conscious about my body and kind of just like eating what's good for me and what my body responds well to.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy vegetables like Justin said, I enjoy spinach. I like carrots.
Yeah, you're like macro man now.
I still don't like Brussels sprouts though. I still don't enjoy Brussels sprouts.
You're like keeping up with your diet.
Yeah.
A lot, huh?
I find it funny that because we were talking before the show how especially like old school parents would be like you have to finish your plate.
Oh yeah.
Whereas like
Yeah.
nowadays it's like don't do that. You need to. It's better that you don't finish your plate.
And that was the thing. We would get in trouble if we didn't finish our plate. Like
Oh,
we
yeah.
literally had to sit at the table until we finished
Yeah.
it. And then now, you know, as you get older and your body doesn't metabolize as much, you know, that's a bad thing.
Yeah. I had a
I mean, it's not-
my parents had like the bite method, just like, okay, one more scoop, two more scoops.
Yeah.
And then I'd be ugh.
Okay. So Mika, you had brought up you guys eat with paper plates.
yes.
Yeah, that's not cool. We had to eat with real dishes. Okay. The one thing I did not like was we had to do dishes in the house. Okay. And we were a family of 8. So imagine doing dishes for 8 people.
Right.
And I think the reason I didn't like it was because while we're hand washing these dishes, there's a dishwasher right next to me that we couldn't use.
Know exactly what you're
It's a
talking
drying
about.
rack.
It's just a drying rack or storage.
Or storage, yeah.
But the thing was, the dishwasher didn't come with a house. Like my parents bought a dishwasher that we never used.
It's the most expensive cabinet.
And I'm like, really? For 8 people, we got to do everyone's dishes. Yeah, that wasn't
It's,
fun.
they
Oh,
say
yeah.
it's not efficient either to hand wash.
Really?
Yeah.
No, yeah, they said you
didn't
use
know
it more water when you're hand washing as opposed to using a dishwasher.
Really?
Although-
Supposedly, yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
I mean, see, but now I live by myself, and so when I cook and all that stuff, now I find doing dishes therapeutic because you know it's relaxing and all
I
that.
don't.
But no,
Yeah.
no, as a
don't.
kid, I hated it.
Well, maybe I'll throw on like a video and then
Yeah,
it makes
exactly.
it more tolerable.
Yeah, because I do it when I'm watching
Yeah,
TV.
until you're washing that one spoon and all the water goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was washing dishes once, and I was watching like the lore of Halo.
Did you wash dishes for 2 hours?
No, I mean like I only watched the dishes for like an hour or so, but like
An
now
hour.
now I know like about all the forerunners and stuff.
Okay, what about you, Justin? What was something your parents made you do that you just did
Oh.
not like?
So I played piano and viola,
Okay.
and I hated practicing. Just like I didn't hate like the act itself. Just like I wouldn't mind it. It was just like I sounded bad. Like I hated like practicing just because I like sound bad and like I have to repeat the passage over and over again. And also like I loved playing games. So I think the deal was every hour that I practiced was an hour of game time, and I would just like sit there for like 30 minutes just with my piano or my viola, and I'd be like, that's about an hour, and I would just go straight back upstairs.
Miko,
go
did you
back to
ever
playing games.
learn piano?
Oh no, I tried once.
You
I
tried
tried
once?
learning. You know, I usually go by. So my parents didn't really weren't the best in teaching me, like, because they weren't musically inclined, like I guess your parents were. But I always went to YouTube for like trying to learn things.
like those videos.
Right. So I tried it once. I knew one song, but that was about it.
What about you, Arnie? Did you take piano lessons?
No, I was mad. I wanted to take piano lessons, but
Oh, yeah?
my 2 older sisters took it and they said, well, we can only afford to have 2 people take it. I go, that's not
Oh.
fair because I'd probably be better than
Yeah.
both of them anyways, right? So I kind of taught myself how to play the piano and kind of read notes, but I can only do the right hand. I couldn't teach myself the left
Oh,
hand,
yeah.
but the right hand I could do. And I was just mad that they didn't let me do it because my one sister who did take piano lessons, that was her excuse. She was free from doing chores because she had to practice the piano. And I'm like, yeah, that's so wrong. So she got away with not doing chores, while we had to do all the chores while she was playing the piano.
She was probably the favorite.
And she was. And she wasn't even that good. Like, it's okay, like if you're Mozart and you can play great and entertain us, right?
Like a prodigy.
Yeah, no.
I think I lasted like 2 years taking piano lessons, and then I just could not progress. I plateaued so hard. I'm like, Mary had a little lamb with two hands. That's extent for me.
Yeah. See, but I wish I did. So now, how do you feel about music?
Yeah. So piano, I love playing piano, but like I'm just like because I didn't practice back then, I'm kind of bad now. So like I'm trying to make up the time, and like these what's it called? Like these harder pieces that are like sound good and all that. I can't play them anymore. Like I can't play them at all. I just have to keep practicing. But I love playing the piano now, and I wouldn't be lying if like that's how I got it. Like got some interest from some girls. So.
But you know what? I was just gonna say that because
Nice.
my nephew he took piano lessons and he was actually pretty good, and he would be entertaining, and and we would have fake piano recitals at the house where we would invite all our friends to watch. And so now he wishes like he did keep up with it because it is girls like guys who can play the piano.
Yeah.
Now, if you could play the piano and sing at the same time,
Oh, that's like,
you will get girls all lining up.
that's like Bruno Mars type.
Oh, that's all you, man.
I sound like a dying cat if I sang at the same time.
So before we continue, we've got a lot of people online making comments. Nate, is there one in particular you want to read out?
Yeah, my friend Mark Hargis from from Louisiana, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans. He said one childhood lesson he remembers the most was the value of hard work, and I think we should segue into this topic because he talked about how his first job was helping a friend's dad cut grass, and he would only pay him $1.50 an hour. Now, I can kind of relate to that. I remember like when our house was being built in Florida, my dad, he wanted to learn construction work and I didn't. And you can imagine Florida. It's like hot and it's humid. It's the most miserable. And for some reason, he wanted to do all the construction projects during the summer, but like laying down sod, getting on the roof of the house and helping him roof in July. I mean, miserable. I remember when I laid down the sod for the whole day, I got like $20. I thought I was rich.
See, you guys got paid to do chores. We did not get paid. It was mandated. You didn't have an option.
Well, my normal chores, I never got paid, but there was a few times when I construction work as a kid, and I would get paid by somebody. But what about y'all? Any chores or jobs you helped your parents with?
Well, not really. It's just more so just like helping around the house.
Did they pay you for it?
No, they paid me with like game time.
Game time.
Hey, for some kid that might be more important, right, than money.
I think my parents did try it out, and then I was just so bad at money, so I would just spend it.
What about you, Miko? Did you get paid to do stuff?
No, I never had allowance, unfortunately. I really wish I did.
Yeah, I didn't know what allowance was.
Yeah, it was really foreign to me. But what Nathan was talking about, like hard work, I took studying pretty hard. Studying was pretty like a big part of what I like doing in school. I was always a loner, kind of. I would be in the cafeteria just studying, doing my homework. I didn't really have a bunch of friends to talk to, but that sort of kind of taught me as I grew up, working hard. Now my current job in IT, it's given me a good baseline just to know where I've come from. And yeah.
That's pretty cool. I wish, like we said, we never got allowance. It was something we had to do. And because you said you would get lunch money.
Yeah, that was all I got was lunch money. And that was back when like school lunch was like $1.25.
Must be nice.
And this is a steal. But I remember my parents, they said, my mom told me like, okay, this is like your quote unquote allowance, which is the lunch money. If you want, you could save it by packing a lunch. And I was like, oh, cool. So some days I would pack a lunch, and then some days I didn't because I really wanted to buy a CD. I would starve myself for 2 weeks so I could raise $16.
Yeah, we didn't get lunch money. We had to pack our lunch or we would starve. It's one or the other. It's like, I mean, honestly, growing up, I honestly thought my parents were so mean because they made us do so many things.
Mm-hmm.
But then now that I'm living on my own, I've learned to appreciate it, like cooking. we literally had to cook for my parents. By the time they got home at 5 o'clock, dinner had to be ready because we all ate as a family together. And my sisters and I would take turns cooking. We had assignments, right?
Mhm.
Made us do that. And I'm like, that's not fair. Everybody gets to be outside or everyone gets to do after school activities
Mhm.
because they didn't have these
Yeah.
chores. But now that I live on my own, I'm like, oh, I love it because now I could cook. I could survive. I can do things on my own and not have to stress over not being able to do things.
Yeah, my parents also had to work late, and so my mom taught me how to cook, like little by little. So she would like prepare the food and be like, "All right, at this time you need to put it in the oven and
Mhm.
for this amount of time, and then
Oh.
make sure you pay attention and all that." Now, did your parents ever ask you to defrost the chicken?
Oh my, so many
Oh my
times.
gosh, yeah.
Shoot,
And you would
I
always forget.
remember, I remember like on days I forgot to like defrost like the steak or the chicken. I'll hear my mom pull up. I'm like, like panicking. I'm just like my brother. I was just Jake from like upstairs. Did you get the chicken out? He would be like, what? And we'd be like in panic mode.
You
And I
never
rem-
threw it in the microwave?
No, what's it called? I would like run it in water, and then there's this one time, it would work for it worked for a little bit. Where like I'd be like, oh, it was just like I took it like an hour ago, and the water would kind of like defrost it. But there's this one time my mom saw me like running it under hot water, and she was like, just straight up, just like, yeah, okay.
You know, in fine restaurants, that's called sous vide, right?
Yeah,
yeah, you
I'm
pay
just-
good money for sous vide.
Yeah, I'm just
Don't do that, by the way.
Yeah, we never had to defrost anything because we had to cook everything, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, I would just be like, I guess it didn't defrost. Huh?
Did you guys have to cook as a kid?
I kind of wish that.
I wish I cooked more.
Yeah, I wish I cooked
Oh,
more.
that's too
Because I
bad.
enjoy cooking.
Like all I cook now is just steak and spam and ramen. That's all I cook
I
now.
think we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the same
Yeah,
boat.
and the way my grandma and my mom taught us is like we didn't have measurements. It's really this or that. And I'm like, what do you mean this or that? And just throw
it in.
things in.
Mhm.
And so I think I got that from them because now I'll see a recipe and I'm like, I don't like some of those ingredients. So
Mhm.
I would like mix it up and put things. And then if I don't like the spices, I'll mix it up. And is when people ask me, how do you make that? I'm like,
I don't know.
oh, just put these things together and that's about it. All right, let's go back to our comments. So we have Romy Lou who made a comment and said, as a kid, there were certain things he didn't like to eat, like dried food and bitter melon. But now as an adult, he actually wants to be able to eat more. So was there something as a kid that you didn't like besides vegetables that now you love now?
Oh, for me, it would be seafood.
Oh no, I've
I
loved
hated
seafood from
seafood.
I love seafood from day one.
What about y'all?
I think mushrooms actually.
Oh, mushrooms.
Like actually, yeah, no,
Mushrooms, yeah.
I hated mushrooms, but like now I kind of like have to grill it and stuff, and I don't mind it. But I like mushrooms now and
Mushrooms.
onions.
Oh, I still don't eat onions.
Really?
Still don't eat
I think
onions?
for me, when I was a kid, I didn't like mustard. But now I can't have stuff without mustard. Like I love mustard.
I still can't do
Oh.
mustard.
Oh, I love mustard.
It's just so like tangy.
I think I've always stuck to what I've come accustomed to when I was growing up.
Really, you just
Yeah, I mean, I think mushrooms is one of them because I really didn't like the funkiness that it came from, especially on
Also-
pizza, especially from my parents because they love getting
Yeah.
like supreme or like all these kinds of
Yeah.
different pizzas, and I'm like, dude, just get the cheese or pepperoni.
Well, and like a lot of the times when we were kids, it was how it appeared. Because I know like
Yeah.
sliced mushrooms, they have the little stuff that's underneath the cap of the mushroom. And you're like, what is in there?
Yeah,
what is that
Or-
gunk?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think also
yeah.
I think also the reason why I didn't like mushrooms is because like I thought I would like get sick because like I was like a really naive kid and people would be like, oh, don't do shrooms. I'm like, don't need mushrooms.
So then Melanie also made a comment and she said that one thing her parents made her do was take naps and she hated having to stop playing to take naps. Me too. I hated taking naps when I was a kid because I felt like I was missing out on life.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
now I'll do anything to take a nap.
I don't think my parents ever made me take a nap,
Me neither. Yeah.
but I do appreciate a good nap now.
Yeah.
right.
Oh no, we were forced. And so we would lay there pretending like we were taking a nap. And the 30 minutes we'd get up. Oh, we took a nap, even though we really didn't.
Yeah, and for like me, my parents never did that when I was growing up. And then I went to like kindergarten and they were doing that. And I'm like, what is this? What are y'all
Oh my
doing?
gosh.
Sleep in the middle of the day? What is this?
Yeah.
I remember one time in
That's like-
kindergarten. Oh,
It's a
sorry.
core-
go ahead.
no, that's just a core memory.
Yeah.
Like the teachers would make us like take naps.
I think like one of the first times they made us take a nap, I was just like, I think this is like a new version of like hide and seek. So like I would crawl around on the floor while, while they thought I was asleep. I would just like crawl around. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. No. So then another thing my parents made me do and my grandparents was as a kid, they made us speak the Filipino language, which I was like, look, we're in America. Why do we need to speak Tagalog? Right. So
Mhm.
when we were at home, we could not speak English. And I was like, who needs to learn a foreign language? Right. But now I totally appreciate it because when I went to go live in the Philippines for about 2 years, people were saying stuff and I pretended like I still couldn't understand Tagalog. And then after like a month or so, I'm like in the language, I'm like, I totally understand everything you guys are saying, right? And then they looked at me and they're really shocked. And I'm like, yeah.
I wish I learned more Tagalog as a kid.
Oh
too,
wow, they
'cause
didn't teach you?
well, I think they tried to, and then like it was just so much easier speaking in English because like those words are long.
Oh yeah, they are. They
And,
are.
and I think all of us here have Filipino parents.
Yeah.
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 But like even any other foreign language, were you guys asked to speak foreign languages or anything like that?
I tried Spanish, but
Okay.
like
That was the school credit.
yeah.
Come on.
That one you kind of had no choice, right?
Yeah. I mean, there was a bunch of like Tagalog. Like I would be in a bunch of like family like functions where you would just. Well, I used to live in the Philippines, and a lot of my parents introduced me to like a bunch of different relatives that I
Uh-huh.
never knew of, and I did not enjoy like talking to them because I didn't have anything in common with them, or I wasn't even able to speak their language, but all of it was just they would reply back to me in broken English, which kind of it wasn't the best.
Because in
It
the
just-
Philippines, they don't have that concept of stranger danger.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
everyone-
right? They want you to go up to everybody and say hi
Right.
to everybody.
Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Cat Leia de Guzman, who's in the chat, she brought up that she was always got in trouble for not finishing food, especially
Ooh,
rice.
that's a good
Now,
one.
as you know, we're all Filipino, or I'm half Filipino. But yeah, I know the serving sizes for rice in a Filipino household are massive,
yeah.
right? And then you look at like what is the recommended amount, and it's like, oh, just this tiny little fist amount. And it's like, no, the whole plate needs to be like
Yeah.
2 inches thick in rice.
Because you have to understand, rice is cheaper than buying meats and all that
Yeah,
stuff
it's the
Yeah.
to
filler.
have your entree.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so they'll give you a little entree and a lot of rice. Like I've stopped eating rice already because
Do y'all still eat rice?
Can't-
Oh,
do that.
yeah. You gotta have like
I
that
think every
balance.
meal I still eat rice.
no,
Yeah.
I think you hit your 30s and all of a sudden you can't eat rice.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. Wait till you guys get there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we also had Fredgie who says he didn't like doing household chores when he was a kid, but he's glad now that his parents taught him because it helped him a lot when he moved overseas. So I think that's so true though, because once you guys start living on your own, I think you guys will start to appreciate all the things your parents made you do,
Yeah.
which
Mhm.
like I said, I think I wouldn't have been a bitter kid if I appreciated all that stuff like I do now.
Yeah. Apologies though. Fredgie is female.
Oh,
Not
sorry. Sorry.
Fredgie. She's here in Fort Worth. Yeah. And she's a
Oh,
nurse.
But yeah, I appreciate like them keeping me somewhat organized. I have like this system at home. It's like organized chaos where like everything's spread out, but like I know where it is. I wish I was better at it though.
Okay, so we had Andre who said he learned how to play the piano for the same reason, Justin.
Oh,
And yes, it probably was to get girls because I do remember when he was like singing and playing instruments. Oh, had a lot of people coming after him.
Jerry Hill of Biloxi brought up he did cutting grass. He hated the work but loved the end result. And I remember when my dad made me cut the grass, something must have been wrong with that lawnmower because like the vibrations through the handle, like by the end of it, you could not feel your hands. And like I do it now and I'm like, something must have been wrong with that lawnmower because my lawnmower does not violently vibrate as bad as that lawnmower did. And like our house had like a massive lawn. We were like on a 1/4 acre lot or something like that. And it would take forever to mow. And like I found out when you were a kid, don't wear shorts when you mow the lawn.
Oh
You
yeah.
run over stuff and it'll
Right.
get you in the shins. But that's something I appreciate now because I still mow my own grass to this day.
So luckily that was one thing we didn't have to do. We had to do gardening, but not mowing the lawn. So now I still call people to mow my lawn.
Yeah. Do y'all ever had to mow your lawn?
Sometimes I mean, I sometimes mow the lawn, but like my
Ooh.
dad, like even now, he would be like, "Hey, can you mow the lawn?" I would be like, "Yeah, yeah." And then like I hear the lawnmower going like an hour or two later. I'm like, "Who's mowing our lawn?" It's my dad. I would be like, "Oh,
Because you
I
didn't
feel
do it.
exactly. I feel
Shame
so
on you.
bad." I would be
I-
like, "Oh."
I would take your video games away. Oh, I have another one. Jerry Hill. Where's Jerry? Do you know where he's from?
Biloxi.
Okay, Biloxi. So he said he hated wearing a tie as a kid, but he's grateful to his uncle who taught him how to tie tie properly. What you guys are boys? Do you guys wear ties?
Mhm.
Y'all know how to tie a real tie? It's not a little clip on you're wearing there, Nate, is it?
I used to
Really?
clip
A
on.
I'm just
clip-on?
asking. I'm just asking.
Melanie, my wife, she dropped in the chat. Her dad made her learn how to drive stick shift. It was frustrating, but I'm glad he pushed me. Now, do you know how to drive? You know how to drive stick shift.
I know
don't
how
you?
to drive
Yeah.
stick, but my parents didn't teach me because they didn't think stick shift was appropriate for a girl to drive that kind of
Yeah.
a car.
My friend taught me the hard way by letting me drive in traffic.
Oh no, not
That's
me.
insane.
We had a bug, a Volkswagen Bug, and that was in stick shift. And I really wanted to go somewhere, but there were no other cars left in the house.
Oh, no.
So I was like, I saw what they did, and so I did it, and I practiced, and like, ooh, I learned how to drive stick. But the only thing was in California, I would never drive it in San Francisco because of
Oh,
the hills.
Right.
But anywhere
Yeah.
else, I'm good
I
with
don't
stick.
I don't think my e-brake could hold on, on those hills.
My clutch would like burn.
Now, did your parents teach you how to drive stick?
So
I mean, you drive
yeah,
stick
I
right now.
well, when I got a stick car, that's when I learned. And the thing was, so uh that car, it was like the only car we had, and I had an exam the next day. So I was learning how to drive stick on Thursday, and then I had to drive it on Friday. And I remember my dad, he knows, and my mom, she doesn't, but both of them were in my car for some reason. And when I started, my mom would just be like in the back, just like banging into the back of my seat. I'll be like, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I like driving stick now. It like keeps me occupied because I drive for a long time,
Mhm.
like for work, and it just like keeps me focused on the road and not like on my phone. But yeah,
And it's
Yeah.
fun.
yeah, it's fun actually. I
I've
like
never
it.
driven
Hey,
stick.
why don't we talk about what we're going to be doing
Oh,
this
yes.
next week?
Okay, so in the upcoming weeks, we're going to start a new segment on the show where we're going to have, what do we call it? Thinking Cap.
Yeah, it's called thinking.
It's going to be called Thinking Cap. And what is it? It's going to be a quiz. We're going to have 3 different questions we're going to ask throughout the show. And then for the whole month, we'll keep the score. And whoever wins at the end of the month will get some kind of a prize. This might be one of the prizes. And then we're still trying to think of other stuff. So if you guys have ideas of what kind of prizes you guys want, put it in there. But remember, we're on a budget, so don't be putting like a car or anything like that because that's not going to happen.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is
So
it?
we'll do that. And then, like we said, we want as much engagement as we want. Please continue to put comments in there. We do like reading those and sharing it with you. And if you haven't already, there's a little subscribe button there. If you guys want to subscribe, that would be great. That way you're
Yeah.
going to get notified of our shows.
Smash that like button too.
Yeah, like button and make your comments. Now, Renz did make a comment here that I thought was pretty funny because he said he didn't like being in charge of the store and he didn't like it because he was a shy kid. Do we see him as a shy kid?
No.
But he did say he did like it because he was able to take whatever he wanted from the store.
Yeah.
Oh, we also had Fred Andres says she loves the topic. As a parent now, I'm letting her daughter listen to this so she could appreciate now and understand why
Mhm.
we're asking and teaching her certain things. And I have to echo that because like I'm also a parent and I'm realizing like the discipline that my parents gave me that I did not enjoy as a kid. I do understand the importance of it when it comes to raising children because we disciplined our son at a young age, and it led to fewer problems as he got older. Like we would just, especially me, I would just have to say something once and he would listen. So like me having to ground him, us having to ground him, we don't really had to do that as much. So it definitely helps like to and discipline can take many different forms, taking away
Mhm.
privileges and whatnot, but to be very consistent with the discipline and realistic with the discipline really helped me appreciate that later as an adult and as a parent.
And that's so true because like I said, when I was a kid, I really didn't like all the stuff my parents made me do. And now I really do appreciate it. And I wish I would have appreciated more because then I probably would have done more as a kid. And so yeah, so tell your daughter, keep listening, and if you want, we'll talk to her for you.
Listen to your parents.
Because sometimes they like to listen to the youth and not the parents.
Yeah, my parents were old school with discipline, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, we know. We know that one. Yeah.
But do you appreciate discipline now?
Oh yeah. I mean, discipline, especially growing up now. Like I said, I was going to the gym a lot, and discipline, it comes in the forms of nutrition and as well as training hard in the gym. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Did your parents make you do push-ups?
No, not at all. No, I just feel like growing up, I was a little bit self-conscious about because my parents would just feed me, what they made, and I didn't want them to feel bad, so I kind of gained a little bit of weight on that, so I was a little bit self-conscious, but
Yeah, I appreciate discipline now. It's just that like
right.
I don't like if I do have kids, I don't feel like I could do it the same way they did, but like it gives me like a better like roadmap of what to do and say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right.
But
So Jerry made a prize suggestion. He says guest spot on the show. Okay, Jerry, just to let you know, we are willing to have anyone come on the show. You guys just call us. We'll have you on. We'll come up with a topic.
Oh, yeah.
And just to let you know for future reference, we are planning to take the show on the road. So please be prepared. Baton Rouge, Lubbock, what other, Jacksonville,
OKC.
We will come out there and we will do a show from there so you guys can come and join us. But if anyone wants to come to the show, or if you guys want certain topics you want us to talk about, please let us know. We are open to suggestions because sometimes coming up with all this stuff is just so hard.
I know we're probably at just 2 degrees of separation from a lot of the viewers here. So yeah, if you want to hear about something, if you have a suggestion, just let us know. And or if you want to come on the show and talk about something, especially, well, our bread and butter on the show has been like, if you have a certain hobby, we love sharing hobbies. I love career stories, and because a lot of times, like a lot of the career paths they recommend is like, oh, you go to college and then you get a job and you live happily ever after. But you find out that is not the case for a lot of people, and it's very, very interesting to hear people share how their career progressed.
Yeah. And my whole thing is all about traveling because I love to travel. So I like to share the places I go and the different things you can do. So, like I said, whatever you guys want to talk about, let us know. And Jerry, if you want, you'll be the first winner and we will get you on the show.
Yeah, Jerry used to be a teacher. I knew him when I was growing up. So maybe we can have a show about teachers. Because Melanie is also a teacher. So that could be probably a show we could do.
That is
about
teachers.
Cool.
So there is one. What about one thing that your parents made you do as a kid, but you didn't listen and now you regret it? Okay. So my thing is, we always wanted to sneak downstairs to watch TV so that we could watch like the scary movies of back in the days that were really scary at the time. Yeah. And they said, do not watch that. And of course, when the parent says do not, then we snuck down and we watched it. And so now I wish I never watched those movies because living by myself, as soon as I hear a noise, I'm like, ooh.
Traumatized.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. My parents never had to say, don't watch that. It was always bad for me. What about y'all?
I think like too much screen time. So now I have like goggles as my glasses. It's like really thick lens. But like but
you didn't eat your carrots, that's why.
See, so it pays to listen to your parents.
Yeah, I wish I had. Well, I wear contacts, but like I wish I could just have like straight up good vision, because like I can't even, like if I hold my hand like right in front of me, or someone holds a hand right in front of me and they have like some text on it, I can't even see that.
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's
really
bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to that myself.
I might attribute it to some genetics, but I mean, I think screen time doesn't help.
You're blaming your parents now.
Screen time doesn't help. What about you, Mika? Was there something that they told you not to do that you did that you kind of wish you didn't? Or were you the good boy and did everything mommy and daddy said?
I think I was always kind of like mommy's boy.
Oh.
Yeah. I always listened to her, and didn't really have any complaints.
Oh, good
So-
for you. Yeah, see, there's
Oh.
6 of us kids, so of course there's only gonna be one favorite, and it wasn't me. So whatever I just did it anyways.
I was a big troublemaker when I was a kid. I don't think a week went by where I wasn't in trouble, grounded, kicked out of a classroom. And what's funny is that, whenever my son tries to pull something, I'm like, no, you're not getting that past me. Sorry.
See, and that's true because that's how my nephews are. And so they think they can get away with doing stuff. And I'm like, oh no, we've did even worse stuff than that. So yeah, you're not getting away. We know what you're doing, right? And I think that helps, like, going through all that as a kid, I think that helps you become a better parent.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like whatever you guys learned from this, hopefully you can take it at the time when you guys become parents, right?
Yeah, that made me realize something. Like as I grew up, it's like my parents played it really well, like pretending they didn't know what I was doing. But like as I grew up, I'm just like, they knew. I'm just like they just pretended really. They're just acting really well.
No, for me, I really think my parents didn't know. I thought me and my sisters were good at hiding stuff.
You guys are sly.
I think my dad probably did know. My mom, maybe I fooled her a few times.
And I think having someone there, like, back up your story, I think that helps. Like,
Yeah.
no, we didn't do that kind of a thing. But anyways, so this was such a great topic. I really enjoyed this topic. We need to have you guys back again for some other topic. But before we go, do you guys want to give anyone any less shout outs?
I'll shout out Renelle, Sabrina, and Bianca.
Okay, who are they?
So Sabrina is my girlfriend.
Oh, that's
and then
Oh.
Renelle's my brother, and then Bianca's my little sister.
What about mom and dad?
Oh, they've had enough talk. They've had enough disses in this show. So.
But I did see mom and dad yesterday. So
Yeah.
how about you?
Yeah, I like that. If he's watching, my brother
They are.
Jake.
Oh no, your parents are.
Yeah, my mom and I've been shouting them out.
Yeah,
Thanks,
your
Mom.
mom's been commenting.
Yeah.
And my other friends that are watching, I like to shout them out. And,
Oh, yeah.
And if they're not watching, share the link. You guys can share the link still, and they
Mhm.
could watch like after the fact. But yeah, get them to watch.
I think we got time for one more thing. If you could go back in time and like give your younger self advice, what would that be?
Oh, I mean, just being self-conscious, not being worried about what other people think of you. Just be in the present, I would say.
I
Don't-
guess mine would be get Bitcoin. No, I'm just oh no, but I think mine would also be like, hey, just what's it called? Start working out. Like I was a really like back then I was just like really scrawny. I was like 5'10", 120 pounds soaking wet. So yeah, I was
You
like,
were really scrawny.
yeah, I was a twig.
I think we should hit the gym after this.
Yeah, Heike.
So mine is not for my younger self. I think for me, it's for all the youth out there that's listening. Listen to your parents.
Mhm.
They've been there. And, people used to tell me that all the time. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But now I start to realize that, your parents have lived, and they lived at a time where nothing was easy. And so,
Mhm.
they know what the kids are going through. And so it's a really good idea to listen to what your parents say. Nate, last one.
Just remember that your parents, your grandparents are trying to build up your family, so they may not be 100% the best, but it's to carry you so that you can do better that they did, and then your kids can do better than they did. So always extend that respect to your parents and grandparents, because they were probably doing better than those that came before before them. And so it's important not to take that for granted, and to, instead of looking back, because I know that's kind of common with modern generations, to hate on their parents and their ancestors.
Right.
But it's like, remember, you've gotten to this point because they want you to do better.
All right. So with that being said, thank you everyone for being here today. Tune in again next week, same time. Our topic next week will be hot beverages for the cold weather, something like that. Okay. Maybe we'll even bring some drinks.
And
in.
we'd like to thank.
And so before we go, we would like to thank our CFO coordinator and SEBC president, Brother Angelo Irano Manalo, and of course, our executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you for joining us. See you next week.
Thank you.
This is INCRadio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.